Radical acceptance of yourself and your body is necessary before you can transform. You have to learn to like yourself, to accept yourself, and ultimately love yourself before you can start treating yourself with respect. You may have spent years trying to badger yourself into change. Strict rules, maybe strict diets, strict workout routines. But it's not sustainable because it's not coming from a place of self-love and self-respect. The only way to make this a lifelong sustainable transformation is to come from a place of loving yourself, treating yourself with dignity. When you accept yourself without judgment, you respect yourself, and then you treat yourself in a healthier way. You eat nourishing foods, you enjoy movement for the sake of movement because it feels good in your body, not because you're beating yourself up. And out of that self-love and self-respect, it's inevitable that you're going to reach your health and fitness goals. You're going to transform your body into the best version of you, but it has to come from a place of radical acceptance and ultimately self-love. There's no other way. Take it from me, I spent years trying to beat myself into submission, and maybe I had some success in the short run, but in the long run, it wasn't working. Hi, I'm Maria LiPuma, the creator of Body Confidence Solutions, where I help health-conscious women release excess weight naturally, enjoy food freedom, and step into their lives with more confidence and esteem. I went on countless restrictive diets trying to transform my body, and it was coming from a place of self-rejection. I didn't like myself. My self-esteem was based on what I weighed, and when I was overweight, I was unhappy with myself. The truth of it, though, is that those few times where I reached my goal, I wasn't truly happy anyway, because it was all based on self-restriction and beating myself up. So in some ways, I was still disconnected from myself. The only way through it was for me to go full circle and find a way to treat myself with love and respect. The turning point came for me when I got pregnant with my daughter. I couldn't control and restrict my intake anymore. And I ended up compulsively eating, binging, all the way up to almost 200 pounds, and I'm only 5'2". So that was quite a lot of weight for me. And even though I was pregnant, after I gave birth, I still was about 80 pounds overweight. It was so emotionally painful for me because, as I said before, so much of my self-esteem was based on what I looked like and what I weighed. And I tried to badger myself and beat myself up into getting back on a strict food plan, into a heavy regime of exercise that was more abusive than helpful. And it wasn't working. It wasn't sustainable. I would have a couple of days of success and then quickly I would get off track. I had to come to a place of acceptance of myself and my body. And it was hard because I had so many negative feelings about being overweight. Ultimately, I had to start to treat myself as I cared about myself. I had to start to treat myself with more respect so that I could align with my health and fitness goals and ultimately release the excess weight. You may be saying, well, I don't know. I can't love myself. I can't accept myself. It's too hard to do. And besides, this strong push that I have, no gain with no pain mentality, is what's keeping me in check. If I started to love and accept myself, then I might not be motivated to change and to transform because I truly want to transform. Your body wants to be slim and healthy. And as you start to administer more self-respect, more self-love, start to treat yourself that way, your body's going to feel safe, and it's going to be safer to release excess weight. It's going to feel safer to align with your health and fitness goals. I'm teaching you today 2 powerful techniques that has enabled me to come into alignment and with my health and fitness goals and reach the transformation that I had wanted out of self-love and self-respect. The first thing that you need to remember is that you have 3 parts. You have a body, mind, and spirit. The body is the animal part of us. If we liken the body almost like a horse, and our spirit rides the horse, then we want to come into a right relationship with the horse. We want to make friends with the horse. We want to be accepting of the horse. When we do that, then the body actually is more in alignment with what we want. It's not rebelling. It's not fighting against us. It's just like if you have a pet, or if you've ever had a horse, you know that the more you love it, the more you care for it, the more it's going to conform to what you want it to do. And it's the same thing with our body. When we're in a negative, rejecting, pushing, fighting relationship with the body, not only does it cause a lot of stress in our body, and that has all kinds of negative effects, but it also keeps us separate from ourselves, and the body sort of has a mind of its own. And if you've ever been plagued by uncontrollable behaviors and maybe even uncontrollable practices that have been self-sabotaging, it's because your body is rebelling. It's rebelling against you because you've been judging it and beating it up and not accepting it. So you have the capacity to cultivate love and acceptance for your body. Thinking about it as the animal part of you, asking yourself the question, how can I be kinder to my body today? Even if you're having trouble accepting the way it looks right now, how can you be kinder to it? Can you look in the mirror and find something that you like about your body? Maybe your heart is working really well. Appreciate your heart, your lungs, your legs, your hands, your arms, the things that are working well, the things that you take for granted, that your body just shows up for you regularly. Start to bring appreciation to those parts of your body. Start to bring appreciation to the body that really does take care of you in many, many ways. As you do that, you can start to feel better about your body. And maybe you already have things that you really like about your body. Maybe you really like your skin, or maybe you really like your eyes, or maybe you like your fingers. Focus your attention on those things that you appreciate and tune into feeling good about it, appreciating it, accepting it, acknowledging it. And from that place, it can grow. Remembering that you want to create a friendship with your body. And the way to do that is to start to think about how you can treat it as if you loved it, as if you cared about it. Ask yourself the question, how would I be treating myself and my body today if I truly did care for it? And even if you're not feeling it in your heart, acting as if, because that's going to start to shift your thoughts. That's going to start to shift how you feel. Sometimes we have to put in the form, act as if, before we can actually feel the feelings. So, looking at yourself and your body as a separate part of you, starting to speak kindly to yourself, starting to acknowledge the things about you that you do appreciate, starting to look for them, starting to see them. And as you do that, that's going to get bigger. That's going to, what we bring our attention to expands. So if you find yourself looking in the mirror and picking on yourself, take your attention away from that and ask yourself, what can I appreciate about myself today? What can I appreciate about my body? And not only the body, but your personality too. What can you appreciate about yourself? I'm sure there are many things, but when you're so busy picking on yourself, it's hard to see the good in you. So start to see the good in you. I love that expression that many yogis used called namaste. It's stated namaste. And what that is an expression of the good in me sees the good in you, or the light in me sees the light in you. So the good in me sees the good in you. We all have good, and we want to look for it. And the more we look for that, the more that's going to expand. So starting to see yourself as the good, starting to cultivate first acceptance. And sometimes that is a process because we've been so invested in beating ourselves up, in blaming ourselves, feeling like we're not enough, or maybe there were things in our life that occurred. Maybe we didn't get the love we wanted. So we said that maybe we told ourselves that maybe it was because we weren't enough. And so we keep fighting with ourselves with this belief, this false belief that we're not enough, because it was never the truth. You are enough. You are enough. You might have made a decision at a young age to believe that you weren't enough, but that is not the truth. And the reason you're in so much pain around that is because it's not the truth. If it were the truth, then it wouldn't be painful for you to be living that. So you want to start to be aware of how you're speaking to yourself, the thoughts you have about yourself, and start to replace them, change them with more positive, supportive thoughts. The second practice is a most powerful practice that I do regularly. I've taught to many of my students and clients, and I'm going to share it with you now. But before I get to it, I want to encourage you to get my free ebook, 3 Essential Steps to Stop Emotional Eating. Because if you're beating yourself up, it's likely that you are turning to food in some way. And emotional eating is often the result of self-beating up and self-rejection. So if you're struggling with emotional eating, I want you to click on the link and get my ebook. It's 100% free, and it'll be very helpful to help you to start to treat yourself and your body with more respect. So the second practice that has been extremely powerful for me, it's helped me to heal my relationship with my body in so many ways. It's been very profound for me because I spent many years of my life rejecting myself and my body. Having grown up very overweight, I believed that I blamed myself, and I blamed my body for all the ridicule I got, all the teasing I got. And in hindsight, I realized that my body was protecting me from some other things. There was some trauma in my childhood, and me being overweight was a form of protection. But at the time, I developed beliefs about myself that it was because my body wasn't enough. And I spent many years trying to make my body enough by restrictive dieting and over-exercising. But it's an inside-out job. And the truth is that even when I got thin, I wasn't feeling enough, because you don't get to feeling enough by consistently feeling not enough. If you're constantly telling yourself you're not enough, you're not going to wake up one day and say, I am enough. So this practice is powerful. It's helped me. It's helped many of my students and clients to heal their relationship with their body. If we think of the body as the animal part of us, and we know that every cell of our body responds to a vibration, the vibration of our words, the vibration of our thoughts. And so when you say certain things to someone or something, it affects how they feel. And it's the same thing with your body. So starting to tell your body that you love it, even if you're not feeling it. What I like to do is after a shower or a bath, when I'm putting cream on my body, I'm just saying, I love you, body. Thank you. I love you, body. Thank you. And it's simply thank you and I love you. But the other thing that I had to do, because I had inflicted so much abuse on my body, self-abuse, on my body. I had crazy diets and diet pills and exercise and you name it. I hurt myself on many levels. I actually did this little practice of asking for forgiveness. So for instance, I would be putting cream on my body and I would say, thank you. Thank you for showing up for me. I love you, or I'm trying to love you, wherever you're at with this. I'm sorry for all that I inflicted on you over these years. Please forgive me. And keep saying that as you're putting cream on your body. Get into the habit of saying that. Thank you, I love you. All of those thoughts, those negative thoughts, those self-beating up thoughts, simply replace them with thank you, I love you. Whenever they come to mind, as soon as you notice yourself beating yourself up, as soon as you notice yourself picking on yourself, just turn it around. Thank you, I love you. And you can start to apply that regularly. I had to do it around the clock because the negative self-talk was so constant that I had to constantly be saying, thank you, I love you. Again, you don't have to feel it in your heart initially, because words have a vibration. And as you say the words, they're going to penetrate eventually. Just be consistent with it. For 21 days, if you are consistent with this practice, I promise you, you're going to feel a change in how you see yourself, in how you feel about yourself, and how you treat yourself. And that's going to show up in aligning with your health and fitness goals, and ultimately enable you to transform into the best version of you. So, telling yourself, I love you regularly. And it might be very emotional for you. Looking in the mirror and saying, I love you. Looking into your eyes. Allow all the emotion that wants to come up to come through you. Don't suppress it. Just allow the emotions to come through you. Let yourself feel. Making amends with yourself. Making amends with your body. Having a relationship with yourself is the most important relationship you'll ever have in your life. And so cultivating a loving relationship, forgiving yourself. Stop beating yourself up. Stop expecting perfection and just allowing yourself to be. Ultimately cultivating some compassion for yourself. You've been through a lot. You've been through a lot, and your body's been through a lot. So you want to befriend yourself. And it comes from first acceptance, ultimately love. It's like making a friend with anyone else. First, if you're picking on someone and constantly pulling them apart and judging them, you're not going to have a friendship or a healthy relationship with them. You're not going to have a good relationship at all. And it's the same thing with ourself and our body. So, thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Looking in the mirror, allowing all the feelings and emotions, and just persevere through it. Make a commitment to yourself. 21 days, one day at a time. Put little Post-it notes around. Thank you, I love you. Remind yourself to repeat that over and over again. The negative self-talk starts. The thought process of picking on yourself. Just turn it around. You don't have to analyze it. You don't have to beat yourself up because it's happening again. You just need to keep repeating that. Thank you, I love you. Thank you, I love you. And when you are, after you've taken a shower or a bath, when you're putting cream on your body, again, petting the body is wonderful, because it calms it down. Just like if your dog is anxious and worried, you're petting your dog to calm it down. The same thing with your body. So, again, I want to hear from you. Who's in 21 days transforming your relationship with your body? And as you do that, you're going to align with your health and fitness goals, as I said before, and you're going to cultivate more self-love, self-acceptance in the process. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me in this video. I want to hear from you. Please write in the comments below what you're going to do. Are you going to do this? Are you in on the challenge? I want to know. And you can, throughout the challenge, come back to this video and let me know how you're doing with it. If you like content like this, please subscribe to my channel. You can give this video a like, and you can certainly pass it on to anyone you know that could use this kind of support today. And if you want to dive deeper, I have another video about loving your body that I will put in the link, and I encourage you to listen to that as well. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to next time. Namaste. Bye now.